Hi everybody and welcome to another tutorial, Mr. Felix. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use a tool called the offset path tool. Alright, um, what we can do is we can use designs that we already have been working with in Adobe Illustrator, or we can use a design library I already have. So I have this folder called Mexican Stamps References that I'm going to be using. Um, to do this, we're actually going to have to make two files because what we're going to be doing is basically doing a sticker and a keychain together. Okay, I'm using this pack of images just because I made it and I think it's cool and I want to use it. I didn't make it actually. I took it from a book of Mexican stamps and like all the pages that I liked. And then what I did is I sectioned each of them off into the things I wanted to. So I chose this bird because I think it's cool. Low key, I don't know if these are Mexican stamps. They might be. The book said Mexican stamps, so low key they look a little like Navajo, or yeah, they look a little Navajo, a little indigenous, you know. I already downloaded my design, but you can choose any of these designs and just click download. And then when you're ready, you're gonna click open and nope, no, nope, new file. Sorry. New file, and think about how big you want your keychain this time. This time I'm going to make it 4 by 4, and the artboards we're going to use, low key, I don't know if we should change artboards or just make a second one. I'm going to try it with 2 artboards right now, and then we're going to make this keychain Mexican or something like that. It doesn't matter. Cool. The first thing we're going to do is Control P to place our image, and I'm going to take out my guy. At this point, you should know how to use the image trace tool. Because this is only one color, I can just use default and go into my properties and up the threshold until I'm happy with how it looks. I'm gonna mess with my corners and my stuff, my noise, just a little bit more. Damn. Okay, ignore my color, expand, and I'm gonna get rid of this piece by double clicking on it. When you double click on something, you go into isolate mode and it lets you just move singular pieces that you don't want. Uh, I clicked a button on my computer. Cool. That's a little tool trick, but the only problem with it is you have to leave uh, isolate mode when you want to do other things. I'm actually going to go into my tools section here, go to circle, and I'm going to put new circles in because just because I think these will look better for my design. Cool. We're going to select our design, and do I have the smoothing tool? Pen? If you hold on these, they should show you different tools that we have access to. Okay. Well, I don't see the smoothing tool, so I'll show y'all how to use that a different day. You're gonna select all, or select your design, and we're gonna start using this toolbar up at the top. And if we go to Object, go down to Path, and go to Offset Path, we'll be able to make a line that goes around our design. And you could change the how thick this line is or how not thick this line is. I could put 0.5, make it pretty thin. I can also change how I don't know why it's not showing 0.5 round my limit. Yeah, there it goes. You see, it can be as thick or as thin. 0.09. Let me try that. Yeah, that looks a little bit better for what I'm going for. But you can mess with this, obviously. And when you're happy with it, you'll click OK. I'm going to go back to the Properties tab right here, and I should see this Pathfinder icon. If I just click Unite, it'll take all of this stuff and unite it. You see this little path right here? It's not united. And that's when we go into this thing called the Shape Builder tool. It's a really great tool that you should become best friends with. Uh, Basically, that tutorial was showing you it takes all these different shapes and it allows you to unite them all into one shape like that. So we're gonna click it, and for me, I already know I don't want to fill, and I want a red stroke because we're going back to the Glowforge with this one. And I will click it, and I will make sure that everything is highlighted, and now I have a red stroke. Oh, or just a stroke with no stroke. Cool. Okay, that looks fine. I was just checking. If sometimes I'll have an error that happened to me a lot where this um, design asset will also have a red outline, and I don't want that because then it'll cut out when I send it to the Glowforge. So uh, I don't know what causes it. I just know it happens sometimes. So stay on the lookout. And then what I'm gonna do for this is I'm gonna add a circle on top, and then just so you can see it, I'm gonna add another circle within that circle, and I'm gonna make them both red so you can see them. That's gonna be like where my little keychain is gonna be able to get hook on, right? Then I'm gonna select these three circles, and then I'm gonna go back to the shape builder tool, and I'm gonna shape build it like this, and then the inside like that. If you might have this issue where you selected all and then you tried to do this, now it gets a little funky, I think. It didn't give me the problem. Or it did, because now I have a red outline around my whole of my design, so that means it's gonna fall out. So you can't do that. You gotta make sure that when you are clicking the shape builder tool, you only select this, this, and this, and then you unite it like that. And you know what? Why that happened is because the fill for some reason turned white. And I can turn that off, and I am fine. Cool. And the reason we have this second um, panel here is because we're also going to make a sticker. An easy way to move it like that is just to select the things you want to select, click Alt, and you can just make a bunch of them. Additionally, a different way to do that is select all of these by holding Shift and clicking on each of your design pieces. You can group them too if you want. I usually don't group my stuff. Control C, Control V, and that perfect. Just like that. All right. And the reason we've done this is because for our first SVG, we're going to export it, export as, and SVG. This will be our keychain Mexican. Okay, cool. Use artboards, range. I only want to save the first one. So this is going to be for the Glowforge. Glowforge. Range. Range is telling me which one do I want to save. So this is going to be my Glowforge one. Export. Okay. And then the same thing, go down to export, export as, SVG, range, and instead I'll click 2, and this will be the Mexican keychain Mexican sticker. Oh, I think I messed up. I wanted this guy to be green. Yeah. The reason I want him to be green was because I just want a little outline of it, so that when I send it to the Glowforge, I know where to put my sticker. I don't actually want it to engrave. All right. When I go to the Glowforge, though, I can send this file that I worked on right now. Downloads Mexican Keychain Glowforge. Mexican Keychain Glowforge. Here we go. And I'll send it here, and all I have to do is click here and click score. So just make sure that's scoring instead of engraving, because if it engraves, it's not really gonna work. It'll still look cool, but it's not gonna work. And then when you send it the other design to the Cricut, we'll go to upload, upload image, browse, Mexican keychain sticker. Okay. Okay. Don't change the size of this. So when you print this out, don't change the size of it because it should be exactly the size that this one will be, and we'll be able to put a sticker onto our keychain, which I think looks really, really nice, especially when you use like clear acrylic or transparent materials that we have access to in the Glowforge. Cool. That's it for this tutorial. If you have any questions, please ask somebody around you, check in with your neighbor, talk to somebody who has this class in a different period. Um, Last person should be me. Um, yeah, have fun. This should be a fun process. I have all these images basically to help you in just practicing this. But once you learn how to do the Mexican keychain design or the Mario Kart design or whatever, you can go into it and make a Hello Kitty or a Snoopy or um, some anime figurines, right? You can do a number of things, and it's just about taking your time and learning to use these tools. All right. Well, hopefully this was a good session. Have fun. Remember, this is just about creating, learning steps, talking about design, and using these really fun and cool machines. All right. Have a good one. Thank you.